like it's recording. So I've already uploaded the first video. So anyways, again, this is Unit 1, Lesson 7. We've already gone over some of this. This is page 57. And then I think toward the end of the video, I told you guys on page 58, you're to divide those up. We've talked about that. And then answer number 3 right here. And then I had told you guys to draw one quadrilateral if you can. And then it got to this place here, and we're going to do this here in just a minute. It says your teacher will give your group several pairs of triangles. Each group member should take 1 to 2 pairs. And I'll explain more of this later, but as we're doing this exercise, and I'm not going to record this exercise, so you don't need your Chromebook open right now. Close your Chromebook. Thank you. I'm not going to record the exercise. That would take too much time while you guys are doing it. And then so you're going to answer the questions at the top of page 60 here. Okay. Of course, then they have a lesson summary, and we talked about that. And then there's the practice problems. And so that's on page 62, 63, and this is page 64, the last page of your practice problems. And I just wrote down right here, you're going to do pages 57 through 64. And also, as I think Ms. DiMattei reminded me, there is an Ed puzzle that should be up by now, but I haven't looked to see if that went up correctly. So it says your teacher's going to give you several pairs of triangles. And it says each group member should take, a couple pairs of the triangles. And then it asks you a question. Can each pair be composed into a rectangle? Everybody should know what a rectangle is by now. How about a parallelogram? Everybody should know what a parallelogram is. That means that 2 of the sides are parallel and the other 2 sides are also parallel. And then it asks you some other questions that you'll need to answer. So let me go over this with you really quick here. It says discuss with the group your responses to the first question, then complete each of the following statements with all, some, or none. Then it says sketch 1 to 2 examples to illustrate each completed statement. These are the 2 statements they're talking about. First one, it says blank of these pairs of identical triangles can be composed into a rectangle. So you might have a couple pairs that you can't make into a rectangle. And then B here, it says blank of these pairs of identical triangles can be composed into a parallelogram. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to give you. And you're all going to have different ones. So you might get a couple look like that, and you might get a couple that look like that. So could I make these 2 into a parallelogram? No, you don't think so?
Yes.
How about if I turn it this way? Move these out of the way here.
Yep.
Is that a parallelogram?
Yeah.
Sure is.
And then you could cut it in half.
Okay. Well, it's already cut in half.
Right.
But you could cut it in half lengthwise, going from that corner to that corner. Okay. But there's a parallelogram. So this right here and the top are parallel, and these 2 sides are parallel. Now, this isn't perfect, but it's pretty close. Okay. Now, can I make this into a rectangle?
Yes. No.
Is that a rectangle?
No.
No. Is it a parallelogram?
Yes.
Yeah. Different, but it's a parallelogram. But this is not a rectangle. Do you see any right angles in that? So a rectangle requires right angles. Okay. Is there any other shape I could make with these?
Square? No, never mind. Not a square.
Okay. So I don't know. I'm going to set those aside. Here's a couple more. Can I make a parallelogram out of these?
Yes. Yeah, a square rectangle or a diamond. You could also make a rectangle with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a parallelogram. Can I make a rectangle out of these?
Yes.
Some say yes. I thought I heard a couple no's.
No. Yes.
That looks like a rectangle to me. Okay. Could I cut it from here to here and make two other triangles? Yeah, I sure could. And maybe there's another shape or two I could make out of this. I don't know. So this is what you guys are going to get. And each group is going to have some different shapes. And you need to answer these questions. Because you might have one that maybe you cannot make a rectangle out of. All right. Or a parallelogram. And then again, on the top of page 60, I want you to answer these questions. Now, I will say this, whoops, that was a mistake. That on the back side of these are letters. And so when I hand these out, one group will have a bunch of U's shapes, and another group might have a bunch of Q's. So they're all going to be different. But each group will have the same shapes, but group 1 and 2 will have different shapes. Okay. None of the groups will have the same shapes. So questions on this? So I'm going to end the video here. I just wanted to put this up and show you guys what I wanted you to do. Okay.